You had a question, my love. Come to the mic. He's coming to the mic, the single man. The single man is coming to the mic. Go there so we can see you. Thank you, darling.
Thank you. First off, I want to say I first encountered you in 1995 at Friendship West Baptist Church.
Oh, yeah.
You did the thing with Divine Love.
Yes,
It was
yes.
awesome.
Wow.
And I was going through a storm then, and your work was, it was awesome. It was very beneficial, and I appreciate it so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I want to ask you guys, how is it?
Guys?
I'm sorry. The panelists. I'm focused. I'm doing what I want to do. I'm visualizing. However, I've learned to be very precise with language. And sometimes people make projections. I don't think they necessarily mean to, but negative use statements. Where I was at a Chamber of Commerce meeting last month, and the speaker said, "I had a mild heart attack. Stress can kill you." I don't mean to project that out on everyone.
Cancel.
Right, exactly. You get what I'm saying. A lot of my friends, some of them I talk to, they're not there in their journey yet, where I am with the negative use statements and, not receiving that. How do you deal with that when people project out? And they don't necessarily intend to.
They're not even aware that that's what it is.
Exactly.
I want to just comment on that because I do have some questions around that whole thing. I have a friend whose friend is very ill, and I feel like he is not supporting her at this moment because he won't deal with the illness. She has an illness, and that's very real. I want to say that the divinity that is not around us, but that is us, is stronger than that. That words are really important, and language is absolutely important. But saying that I had a mild heart attack due to stress is not going to create mild heart attacks due to stress. That's a fact, it's real. But I will say that what it means to be made in the image and likeness of God, first book of the Bible, Genesis, means that we have the power to create. And we create with our thoughts and with our words and our actions, those three things. But it's a thought first. Oh my God, going through menopause. When I thought I was losing my mind. But I couldn't tell anybody. I was quiet about it. But in my mind, I was like, oh, you're losing it. You're really old now. You need to leave Essence. Don't go to a meeting because you don't know who anybody is at the meeting. I worked with you for 10 years, but what the hell is your name? I can't even think of it. And as I played that tape in my head, because I'm human and divine, that amplified. So I think by saying, oh my God, the economy is horrible and everything's going to fall apart and I know I'm going to lose my home, that you're feeding that because it's non-specific. This divinity, you can fill any cup. You can fill the cup of negativity, or you can fill the cup that is positive and rich, and that will overflow. So in that respect, I think that language is important. And I saw what I amplified in my life. Just by speaking and believing, not sharing, but thinking about it every moment, rather than the moment that I asked the question, like I'm sure your friend might have or should have, what has menopause come to teach me? Oh, can't ignore yourself. Oh, you need to meditate every day. You need to work out. You need to eat right. You need to take care of yourself. So there's always a lesson that something is trying to teach you. And I just think that sometimes in the metaphysical world, forgive me, I think we pay a lot more attention to language sometimes in the very fine sense that you're talking about. This person has an illness, and that is very real, and we need to support him or her and make sure that they get their meds, and I think you work in complementary medicine, you work with the traditional doctors, and you go to the real traditional ones, the ones who know how to do the real healing. So, and I want to come back to also something that we said about how do you know? How do you know which voice it is? How do you feel? When you are doing what's right for you, what the Holy Spirit put you here to do, I'm not being paid. I gave up a tremendous paycheck at Essence to do my mentoring work, to encourage the African American community to mentor. And I'll tell you, brother, this has given me wings. I'm 63, and I have like teenage wings. Wings of a teenager. You know? I think the question that we must ask is, how can I serve God? How can I serve you? That's the question. In the quiet, how can I serve? And the Spirit speaks to you, and things come to you. Synchronicity is what we call it. Everything, oh, okay, well, I'll try. This feels good. Ooh, yes, it feels good. The money always follows that. The substance that you need to do the Holy Spirit's work will be in your hand. You know, it does require walk on water faith also, but it requires that question, how can I serve? What do you want me to do, God?
Nugget. Well, let me just say, walk on water faith. That's the nugget, walk on water faith. And when you came in this evening, you got a reading, I believe, from A Course in Miracles, There Is Nothing to Fear. Yes? That's going to be your nugget generator. Take that to your room tonight, or over to, what is it, Irie, where you get the pizza until 2 o'clock in the morning, or wherever you're going to go, and really read through that. Each day you're going to get a nugget, and each day that is the affirmation that we're going to be working on. There is nothing to fear is today's. And by the end of the week, you're going to get just exactly what Susan is talking about, how to get into that place and find out what it is that God would have you do. One thing I'd like to add, and then I'm going to come to Michael and Ricky, is the distinction that I think we have to make is about intention. When you say, I had a mild heart attack, your intention is to report an experience and not to create an experience. And intention is at the core of everything anyway. So when they say that, stress will kill you, now that's kind of unintentional, and that may have a little bit of the heat that you're talking about. But I had a mild heart attack. Understand that that's a report and not a creative speaking. So sometimes we do hear people say anything, and what I say in my brain is cancel, cancel. You know, when something comes at me, and Shaheerah taught me that 25 years ago. Cancel, cancel. And if it's real juicy and horrifying, I say it 3 times. Cancel, cancel, cancel. Cancel a thought, cancel a word, cancel the energy, cancel it all. Just cancel that out. Yes, Ricky.
Yeah, well, 2 things. The first thing was, because I wanted to say something about the voices and how do you discern what it is. And I believe that God is so vast and so infinite, and its nature is so eternal, that it can speak in so many different ways. And Michael was just saying, you need to go to the piano, sing the song. There's a song I have called How Can I Serve Today?
Yes.
And speak in ways that I will understand, and where you lead me, I will follow. That's the chant.
Okay, we'll take that song.
Okay, I'll give it just a bit. What's it? Uno momento. I'm learning a little Spanish. So, you know, but what I wanted to say was, sometimes in our wanting to have this practice, or this even a discipline, or even a blisscipline, which is a joyous discipline.
Nugget.
That would be a
blissipline, nugget, blissipline.
That's a Beckwith
joyful
nugget.
discipline, blissipline. Yeah,
that's a Dr. That's a Dr. Michael nugget. I didn't make that one up. But sometimes we think it needs to look like this, or it needs to come when we're praying, or that if we find our time to really be quiet, that if we don't hear anything in that particular session of stillness, that it ain't happening. And we get frustrated by our own timetable. And I just wanted to say that God speaks in so many ways that if you didn't hear a thing in the silence, just you go there to sit for the silence. You know, God is a lover that, you don't have to write this one down, but God is a lover that just deserves our attention, period. You know, it's just like we just go to...
Sorry, that's a nugget.
But if we don't go for what we can get, you know, we don't go for what we can get.
Yeah.
We go. Yeah. And we're there. And what comes, you know, I got my greatest lessons when I was swimming upstream, fighting and kicking, and just like, why? And the grace was so much bigger. But I mean, they saw me. They go like, this girl ain't gonna get it. You know, she ain't gonna get it. You know, she can't see how great she is. She doesn't get it. So they just kind of like just took me up on a hill. They just in the spiritualist church, they say she just fell out.
Slayed in the spirit.
Yeah.
Slain in the
just
spirit.
like, and it was like they just went, and it was at his ordination. He was being ordained, and they were ministering to me. And it was like they were just speaking to me. It was just grandmother spirit, just all around me, just feeding my soul, because I was so hurt and so abandoned and so scared and so fearful. And they were just telling me things that I needed to hear, but in a way that they could say it. And it was just like, I'd sat in the stillness a long time, but I had planted a seed, but it wasn't flowering in my, meditation time. It flowered in its own time. And when I saw it, it was like, it's like, wow, yeah. And it comes like that. God speaks like that. But we got to learn how to be still. We have to make the deposit. We have to pay into it. We have to say yes. We have to sit.
Invest.
Invest. Yeah. No deposit, no return.
Right. That's a sermon. That's a sermon. Yeah, that's a nugget. But I usually get mine on the side of the road. And anybody that works with me, when we are doing some work and I need to know something, I'll go get in the car. Sometimes they say, please don't go. And then other times they say, go on. Because I can get it driving. I can get it in the shower. I've had some of the most...
I was getting ready to say you can get it in the shower.
In the shower, yeah. I have some of the most profound downloads on the side of the road, like a hookah or something. I pull over and I'm out on the side of the road, So you never know how it's coming. Yes, Michael.
Just to deal with a little bit of his question. First of all, I want to just agree with what Ms. Taylor was saying in terms of not having a spiritual bypass on someone's experience and having compassion and not try to cover it up with words. I think that's very, very powerful, that in the metaphysical movement we don't want to do that. We want to have our heart open and see what the lesson and the blessing is, and to let our heart break open with compassion when people are going through things. And then we can be of service in our language and in our prayers and in our actions. And the other thing that you were asking about how we deal with negativity coming at us, and Iyanla talked about cancel is one of the things. I did something a few months ago called the no worry diet, and the no worry diet. And one of the ingredients that we want in our no worry diet are Cheerios. And Cheerio is simply when someone is bringing you negativity, gossip, rumors, whatever, you just look and you say, oh, you're zeroing it out in your mind. Oh, gotta go. So you're not, arguing, but you're not co-signing the negativity. You're just saying, oh. But in your awareness, you're actually putting a big zero in front of it, so you're protecting your own consciousness. You're not allowing it to enter in. Oh, gotta go. And so it's part of the no worry diet, and it just allows you to not be impolite, but at the same time not take it in. You see, but if it's something like what Iyanla was saying, somebody's reporting something, or what Susan is saying, is somebody's reporting an experience that somebody's going through, we don't cut our heart off. We actually listen, what's going on with that individual, what's happening, and then we can listen to see how we're to serve that situation, you see. It's just that common consciousness dialogue. Yeah, the common consciousness, I gotta go, Yeah.
And I heard something in your sharing that, not necessarily in your sharing, but your sharing sparked something for me that I just want to offer before we end for the evening. And you said that you are on your path and on your journey, and some of your other are not. And I just want to warn us all about spiritual arrogance and about spiritual judgment, where we think that because we've been to 2 workshops and read 8 books, or have Michael Beckwith's sermons, or know Ricky's music by heart, and somebody else doesn't, that they're not on their path. If we really know that God is God, doing God at all times, that God can't be anything else but God, that everybody is exactly where they need to be, doing exactly what they need to do, and just look at how difficult and challenging it was for you to get on your path. You may not recognize that they are on their path. You understand? But we'll say, they're not, because they're not doing it like we do it. It's very, very important, particularly for women, because we have a tendency to think that our partner isn't on a spiritual path because they won't come to these workshops. And because they don't know Iyanla Vanzant. And they don't like Michael Beckwith or have never heard of him or whatever. You understand? That's really where your prayer and your visioning goes in. We don't know. We don't know. Some of the most challenging experiences in my life, I would have never thought were a part of my path. I had really sent a couple of emails to God like, wait a minute, are you sure you sent this is the right person? Did you really send this to me? Excuse me, what's my email address? My email address, what's my email address? Which were absolutely, now I can say, one of the most profound lessons in my life. So we never know. So we just want to be mindful of that, judging that somebody isn't on their path when they absolutely are. Yeah. Okay. Tell me something you've learned. Tell me something you learned today, something new. Come on. Just holler it out. No worry diet. Good. What? Pain pushes you until vision pulls you. Your purpose can be born through your pain. Cancel. What else? Divine substance has not run out. Y'all ain't learned nothing? This is the special ed section over here? What y'all learn? Huh? Quiet listening? Okay, she doing quiet listening. Yeah. Huh? Cacophony of external experiences. Yeah. How to be still. Yes. You learned that today. Oh, okay. All right. Everybody's on their path. Yes. What you learned? Exactly where I need to be. Yes. Say it again. There is nothing. Let's break that down. There is no thing to fear. No thing. Yes. Discipline. Yeah. Okay. Go ahead. Give me this one. Walk in faith. Okay. I have to check in and make sure, so when y'all go outside and get the chocolate, you won't be just totally forgot about everything. Please give our panel some love.